Do you love to visit Florida, but you don't necessarily want to relocate to Florida because you're scared of the hurricanes? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about a few things that will hopefully put your mind at ease and you won't be as scared or afraid to relocate here to Florida. And I'm going to talk about why I will live in Florida with hurricanes and all. So stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Durham with the Whittemore Group at eXp Realty right here in the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. If this is your first time to our channel, thanks for stopping by. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap on that bell just so you're notified every time we do a new video, because we don't want you to miss out on all the information that we give you about the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area, because we do have a lot of people that reach out to us because they are getting ready to move here and they just want to get a little bit more information. That way they're in the know and they have the information that they personally need in order to make their arrangements to relocate here. So if you are getting ready to move here, or at least considering it, and you need some assistance, feel free to reach out to us here at the Whittemore Group. You can give us a phone call, send us a text, or shoot us an email. Whatever you need to do to get a hold of us, we got you covered when you're relocating here to the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. All right, so let me tell you why I will live in Florida with hurricanes and all. Well, first off, hurricane season isn't all year long, so it's not like it's something that we have to deal with for 12 months of the year. Hurricane season is actually from June 1st through November 30th. So that's only the time frame where there's most activity out in the Gulf or the Atlantic. A lot of the storms don't even make it up to hurricane status. And another thing is that Florida doesn't always take a direct hit, even if we're in the projected path, which we're almost always in a projected path. I'm sure you've probably seen what it looks like little spaghetti noodles all over the screen. But even if we don't take the direct hit, we may just experience strong winds, a lot of rain, some flooding. But you know, still people are concerned about that, and they feel like even when it's not mandatory to evacuate, they just need to pack up and leave. But it's whatever you're comfortable with. Me personally, we wouldn't evacuate unless it's absolutely mandatory and we were in the path to be directly hit by a hurricane. Then I would be concerned. But like I said, it's Florida, we're not always in the direct hit. So if that's what you think, oh, Florida, we're definitely going to have to experience hurricanes every year with every storm. It's not necessarily the case. You just make sure you know what to do in order to prepare for a hurricane, of course, if you do plan on staying or whether you do plan on leaving. I wanted to talk about that as well. Even if you do stick around during the storm, you can make a potentially scary situation fun. You can have what a lot of people like to call a hurricane party. You can gather friends and relatives at a safe location and just have fun until the storm passes. You can do a lot of things, like you can play games with the family-friendly games, hopefully, or if you can maybe separate the kids and the adults and they can do their own things. You can also just sit back, relax, have a drink, whatever it is you like. That way it'll calm your nerves a little bit. Or you can even catch up on some sleep. A lot of us work hard out there and work 40, 60 hours a week or more. Just take that time off and relax. Maybe a lot of you enjoy all the rain, wind is calming and relaxing, and just sleep right through it. Or you can also just grab a remote, turn on the TV, and catch up on all the shows that you've missed because you've been working so hard. But there's lots of things you can do just to make the storm pass a little bit, the path easier for you. Just make sure, again, you're prepared before the storm actually arrives to your area and have the necessities, have your water, your canned food. If you have a backup generator, that's great. That way you can still be able to somewhat live normally, even if you lose your electricity in your area. But there's lots of things you can do to take your mind off what could potentially be a scary situation. Now, if you do decide to evacuate with your family or your friends, or even by yourself, whatever you need to do, if you have family out of town or out of state, you can go take a visit them and catch up with them. Or if you have a large group that you need to travel with, you can make that trip fun as well. You can play a lot of games during the trip, get to know each other, same way like a lot of people did during when they had to quarantine, getting to know each other all over again. You can do that in a road trip as well. You can even plan a trip to go somewhere, maybe somewhere that you guys haven't been before, and just take the advantage of evacuating and just hit up that one spot that you've always destined to go to. If you have a maybe you have an upcoming special occasion, you want to go ahead and celebrate early, take advantage of that and go ahead and go for it. Another thing you can do while you're sitting at home waiting for the storm to pass, you can catch up on a lot of reading or catch up on some work. A lot of people that may not work from home, but they are able to bring their work from the office to home. You can still work on that as long as your work allows you to do so. A lot of work from home parents may be able to still take advantage of catching up on work and just keep their kids occupied. I know school is getting ready to start, or school really starts just after hurricane season starts. So a lot of the kids may just enjoy that extra time off, and unfortunately they need to keep in mind that there are some makeup days that would come along with being out of school for hurricanes. So you're not necessarily missing out or having a shorter school year. You're going to have to possibly make up those missed days later on in the school year. So you can also have your children do some extra studying too. Let's just say that they are falling behind during hurricane season. Well, if you're staying at home because schools are closed, have them do some studying and catch up. And another thing you can do when you're waiting for the storm to pass is to tidy up your house. Let's just say there's some little projects in the house that you've been meaning to get around to. Nothing major, it doesn't have to be anything major. Be minor things like reorganizing your closet or reorganizing your garage that seems to have gotten so much clutter, accumulated a lot of clutter over time. Take advantage of your time home and clear that up. It'll make time pass, because once you get started, you just sometimes will just get in the zone, and next thing you know, the end of day is here. You can just sleep, and then it'll be a new day. Probably the storm had already passed by then, depending on how fast that storm is moving through. But there's lots of that you can do with the family too. Have them, the kids, get involved with helping cleaning and organizing the house. Maybe have them reorganize their room, rearrange their room. I know when I was a kid, I like to rearrange my room every now and then too. Makes it feel like I'm in a new setting. But just get creative with your kids to keep them occupied. It doesn't always have to be about schoolwork too. Just let them get a break and have some fun. Again, you can have them play some games with you too. You make up your own games, or just maybe even find some movies to watch where everyone can enjoy. That way you're still having some family time together while you're sitting at home and not necessarily off doing your own things like a lot of families would do, where kids are off in their own rooms. Again, if you lose your electricity, that's even more of a reason to get together and spend time together, so that not everyone is locked in on their own personal devices. So bottom line, I would still rather live in Florida and deal with the hurricanes or during hurricane season than to live up north where there's snowstorms and blizzards. I've never had to experience that, and I'd rather not. I've seen what it looks like on TV and everything, but it just doesn't seem like something I'd be able to tolerate well. So props to you guys up north that do have to deal with the storms, the snowstorms, and all the blizzards that you might have to experience during the later part of the year. I definitely couldn't do it, so I'll go ahead and prepare and gear up for a hurricane rather than a snowstorm. I'm a Floridian. I hope I was able to put your mind at ease at least just a little bit, and you won't be so concerned with hurricane seasons, because it's not really as bad as you may think it could be. Just make sure you're prepared and you have all the information that you need in order to prepare for your home, and all the evacuation routes if you do decide to leave, or if it's mandatory to leave. Just make sure you have all that information that you need. If you want to know more or just want to share your thoughts, feel free to leave us a comment below. And don't forget to like and share this video with anyone you know that may be considering moving to the Florida area, specifically the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area as well. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already, and tap that bell just so you're notified next time we do a new video. I'm Stephanie Durham with the Whittemore Group at eXp Realty. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.